I'm determined I'm going to get my head in this video and I'm going to do it in one take. That's what I'm going to do. So one of the things that's come up recently that parents have been asking about that people sort of don't really want to mention is a lot of students and children and people with neurodivergence tend to punch themselves in the face or bite themselves or hit their chin or headbutt walls or those sorts of things when they're extremely dysregulated. And people don't know what to do in that situation. It depends what you're doing, what the situation is, and each situation, each child is different. Autistic people are like fingerprints, every single one of them is different and unique, and that is totally true. What we do know though is there's functions of behaviour, there's reasons why people do stuff. For instance, if a child's got an iPad and you take that iPad away, they might get really upset. And what they might do is they might bang their head against the wall. So that is a tangible thing. They want the iPad, give me the iPad back. No, okay, I'm going to hit my head against the wall until you give it to me. That's a thing. But a lot of the time it could also be sensory. They could be needing that input and they're not getting it. And so they're trying to get it by hitting their chin, by bumping into walls and all sorts of things. If you have a child who's doing this, or you know people that are doing this, there is a word for that. That sense of seeking weight and pressure and those sorts of things is called proprioception. And now you know that word, you can Google it, you can find out about loads of different things, but nobody's telling parents that's the actual word you need to be looking at. So if you like duvets or weighted blankets or pressure or squeeze or those sorts of things, hanging around with heavy books in a bookcase, in a rucksack, that is proprioception. And often what people are doing when they are hitting themselves is they are looking for that proprioceptive input. How do you stop your child from hurting themselves at that point and hitting themselves and using a proprioceptive input? You model. And so a lot of time I won't even say no, don't do that, purely because if you've got a young child with severe learning difficulties or things like that, they'll do it hundreds of times. And actually every time you say no, don't do that, if you're saying it hundreds of times, how many times are you being negative, however well intentioned, towards the child? So usually I would just say, do this. Oh, you need I was so close to doing it in one take. Usually what I would say is, no, it's gone. Usually what I would say is, okay, you're angry, do this. Oh, you're sad, here's a way to blanket. And I would physically move their arm or their head to that activity that I'd want them to do. And it does work over time, but the first time you suggest to a child who's banging their head, stop, why don't you try something nicer instead? They will tell you to go away in no uncertain terms, and they very well might hit you. And that is how it works. So what we first need to do is label their emotion, positively model. I love PALM, pause, analyze, label, model. And then basically use it over time consistently and use visual resources. And what happens is the child then follows that routine and stops hitting themselves. It is proprioception, it does work. So now you know. Hopefully that was helpful and not too rambly. Right. Thank you very much.